Good evening. Welcome to the January 24, 2023 Village of Bolingbrook Board Meeting. Before we proceed, if you would like to address the board this evening, we do have forms that we would kindly like you to fill out, located at the back of the room with agendas. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, which tonight will be led by our Finance Director, Rosa Kohaloon.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes, Mayor. Trustee Zarate?
Here.
Trustee Watts?
Here.
Trustee Kelly?
Here.
Trustee Lawler?
Here.
Trustee Doris?
Here.
Trustee Carpenzano?
Here.
Thank you. May I please have a motion to approve the regular meeting minutes of meeting January 10th, 2023?
So moved. Second.
Trustee Lawler, second. Trustee Watts. Any additions, corrections, or deletions? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Approval of the agenda. Mr. Odelson, are there any changes to this evening's agenda?
No, ma'am, Mayor, no changes.
Thank you, Mr. Odelson. May I please have a motion to approve this evening's agenda?
So moved. Second.
Trustee Carpenzano, second. Trustee Doris. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We have no appointments for the boards this evening. Public comments. Madam Clerk, have we received any comments in advance of tonight's meeting regarding items before the board this evening?
No, Madam Mayor, we did not.
Thank you. Is there anyone present this evening that wishes to address the board regarding anything on this evening's agenda?
Excuse me, I'm not sure what was on the agenda. Is there anything that you can present?
Is it, what topic are you presenting on?
Well, there's a couple, but one is on the light pollution in the city here.
Okay, so that would be on the back end. We'll have another opportunity because since that's not on this evening's agenda. All right, very good. Thank you. Next up is our bill approval. Bill listing A, $1,128,943.13. Bill listing B is $12,712,195.14 for a total of $13,841,138.27. $10,360,149.50. This is the amount that was for debt service payment due on January 1st, 2023. Are there any questions from the trustees? May I please have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Trustee
Second.
Carpenzano,
Second.
second. Trustee Zarate, roll call vote, please.
Yes, Mayor. Trustee Watts?
Yes.
Trustee Lawler?
Yes.
Trustee Doris?
Yes.
Trustee Carpenzano?
Yes.
Trustee Kelly?
Yes.
Trustee Zarate?
Yes.
Thank you. Next up are our tax receipts. October 2022 state income tax, $677,490.65, which is an increase of 19.8% from 1 year ago. September 2022 sales tax is $3,594,732.55, an increase of 8.3% from a year ago. October 2022 motor fuel tax, $252,256.94, a 7.4% increase from a year ago. September 2022 state administrative fee is $29,779.41. Next, we have our consent agenda. Tonight's meeting agenda includes a consent agenda for 2 items. First item is motion to approve Visu Sewer of Illinois as lowest bidder for 2023 sanitary sewer manhole sealing. This is part of a 5-year program to repair leaks. Manhole sealing will be done on a portion of the village's east side sanitary sewer system and west side interceptor. The total cost is $74,230, which was reviewed and approved by our Public Services Committee. The second item is a motion to approve or construction as lowest bidder for the 2023 sanitary sewer lining. This is also part of a 5-year repair program, and the sewer lining work will be performed on a portion of the village's east side sanitary sewer system. Total cost is $277,450. This also has been reviewed and approved by our Public Services Committee. Do any of the trustees wish to remove either item from the consent agenda for discussion? Hearing none, may I please have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Trustee Lawler, second trustee Zarate. Roll call vote, please.
Yes, Mayor. Trustee Doris?
Yes.
Trustee Lawler?
Yes.
Trustee Carpenzano?
Yes.
Trustee Zarate?
Yes.
Trustee Kelly?
Yes.
Trustee Watts?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries. Next up are our resolutions. Resolution 22R-005, approving a lease agreement with Zoll Medical Corporation for cardiac monitors. The current monitors are obsolete and in need of replacement. The fire department is requesting 10 cardiac monitors to be placed in 5 ambulances and 5 fire engines. The new monitors will offer real-time data. The lease is for 10 years at $86,797.79 per year. This has been reviewed and approved by our Public Safety Committee. Are there any questions from the trustees regarding this? May I please have a motion to approve?
So move.
Second?
Trustee Watts, second trustee Zarate. Roll call vote, please.
Yes, Mayor. Trustee Lawler?
Yes.
Trustee Zarate?
Yes.
Trustee Carpenzano?
Yes.
Trustee Watts?
Yes.
Trustee Doris?
Yes.
Trustee Kelly?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries. Next resolution is 22R-006, approving a change order for the Kings Road design contract with ESI Consultants Limited, Rodeo Drive to Remington Boulevard. This is a change order for the roadway improvements on Kings Road. The scope of work increased as the project progressed. Some changes are additional survey hours and drafting time are needed, as well as additional design effort for the intersection improvements at Remington Boulevard. The total cost is $85,870. Again, this has been reviewed and approved by our Public Services Committee. Are there any questions regarding change order from the trustees? May I please have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Trustee Kelly, second trustee Lawler. Roll call vote, please.
Yes, Mayor. Trustee Watts?
Yes.
Trustee Carpenzano?
Yes.
Trustee Zarate?
Yes.
Trustee Lawler?
Yes.
Trustee Kelly?
Yes.
Trustee Doris?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries. Next resolution is 22R-007, approving an amended proposal to the Town Center Tunnel Mosaic Project with Green Star Movement. The project was approved back in October of 2021. The amended proposal for additional work and cost is needed based on the final design and measurements of the wall. The total additional cost is $14,722. This has been reviewed and approved by Public Services Committee. Are there any questions from the trustees?
No question, maybe just a comment. This project really evolved from where it started to where it ended. Very much a eclectic style and look in the beginning to one that I think ultimately really meshes with our community. The color scheme, the design very much aligns with our flag and sort of just the outlook of our community. So it will bring certainly a new dimension and a new look to the wall where it's going to be painted, but definitely want to thank all of those that were involved in the process. Some of us had opportunities throughout the process to review it, provide feedback, and that's sort of what led to that sort of evolution within the process. So it's going to be different, but I think at the end of the day, we believe it will bring sort of a nice look to Village Hall.
Definitely. I think we went through 15 maybe variety. I mean, that's probably on the low side, right? Of designs, and we went from one extreme to the other. But as Trustee Watts indicated, we're very excited with the final design and are very much looking forward to seeing it, and as well as also having members or residents help with the process. That's going to be another exciting portion of the whole, like, kind of ownership, taking ownership of it.
Yeah, I do want to acknowledge the Arts Council Commission and Mithra Zalcha Chair for having them involved with, from the beginning and bringing the idea to us and working with the vendor to bring it to light.
Sure.
As part of the, kind of the liaison of the project through the village and the council is also Elena Humphreys, all her hard work. And Mayor, we have the first week in April scheduled for community build days on it. And so we'll get more information out to not only you and the trustees and the community on how we're going to go about that. But we have, we're going to be moving forward, and they anticipate less than a week to get it done.
Very excited. Any other comments from the trustees? Seeing none, may I please have a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
Trustee Carpenzano, second trustee Doris. Roll call vote, please.
Yes, Mayor. Trustee Watts?
Yes.
Trustee Zarate?
Yes.
Trustee Carpenzano?
Yes.
Trustee Lawler?
Yes.
Trustee Doris?
Yes.
Trustee Kelly?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries. Next ordinance is 22-004, amending Chapter 6 of the Bolingbrook Village Code, decreasing Class C10 from 1 to 0 and increasing Class C10 from 0 to 1 for Master Axe LLC, located at 623 East Boughton Road, Suite 150. Master Axe now has a new owner. In accordance with the village code, the old owner has to turn in their liquor license, and we have to approve the liquor license for the new owner. And that is exactly what's taking place here. We're glad that they were able to do a smooth transition, and Master Axe will not be closing. It'll actually just be transferring ownership. Are there any questions from the trustees regarding this transaction? May I please have a motion to approve?
So, second.
I'm sorry, who first? Trustee Kelly, second trustee Lawler. Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Zarate?
Yes.
Trustee Kelly?
Yes.
Trustee Doris?
Yes.
Trustee Watts?
Yes.
Trustee Lawler?
Yes.
Trustee Carpenzano?
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you, and congratulations to the new owners of Master Axe who are here with us this evening. Ordinance 23-005, amending Chapter 32, Law Enforcement of the Bolingbrook Village Code in our Police Department. This is a housekeeping measure. The candidates for captain will be considered from a minimum rank of sergeant. This is an appointed position which is responsible for the supervision, operation, and delivery of police services for a patrol unit, investigations unit, support unit, and professional standards unit. Are there any questions from the trustees? May I have a motion to approve, please?
So moved.
Second.
Trustee Doris, second trustee Carpenzano. Roll call vote, please.
Yes, Mayor. Trustee Watts?
Yes.
Trustee Carpenzano?
Yes.
Trustee Zarate?
Yes.
Trustee Doris?
Yes.
Trustee Kelly?
Yes.
Trustee Lawler?
Yes.
Thank you. Next ordinance is 23-006, approving a waiver of electrical fence prohibition located at 273 Marquette Drive, Truck Service Point. The owner operates a storage facility at the location. For security purposes, Truck Service Point has requested a waiver from Section 54-258 of the Village Code, which prohibits electric fences. This ordinance grants the waiver and requires the fence be removed if the owner vacates the property. Are there any questions from the trustees? Motion to approve, please.
So moved.
Trustee
Second.
Lawler, second trustee Carpenzano. Roll call vote, please.
Yes, Mayor. Trustee Kelly?
Yes.
Trustee Doris?
Yes.
Trustee Watts?
Yes.
Trustee Carpenzano?
Yes.
Trustee Zarate?
Yes.
Trustee Lawler?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Motion carries. Next, we have our public comments portion of our meeting, and I believe we have a couple of residents here. So just want to come up and address the board.
Hello, everyone.
You can raise that up if you need to,
Yeah, I should.
or you can use the podium, whatever works for you.
Let's try this. Does that work okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you for this opportunity to speak to you tonight. My name is Frank Arford. I live in Plainfield on Lake Mary Drive in the Lakelands Club neighborhood, which is located on the northwest corner of the intersection of Essington Road and 135th Street. I'm here tonight with my wife Joanne and two neighbors, Joanne Adler and Bill Nichols. And we all came tonight to register our objections and the objections of our neighbors to this semi-truck and trailer parking business that has started recently to operate on the east side of Essington Road, right across the street from our neighborhood. So this is the operation on the northeast corner of 135th and Essington. For the past 20 years, that is from the beginning of the development of our neighborhood, there has been an active sand and gravel quarry to the east of us across Essington Road. The quarry was surrounded for all of those years by a natural berm that was about 20 feet high and that ran north and south along the east side of Essington. There also were many mature trees that grew along the top of the berm. And the berm and the trees provided sound and visual screening for us, for our neighborhood, from the quarry mining activity as well as from traffic on I-55. Early in calendar year 2022, the owner of the quarry began to take down the natural berm and tear out many of the trees. And now much of that berm is gone. Some of our HOA board members met with the quarry owner last spring in 2022, and he indicated that he intended to build a high-quality fence to replace the berm that he was removing and to plant good trees along the fence to replace those that he had torn out. None of these things has occurred. The quarry property was sold last August, and since then more of the berm has been removed and the ground has been graded to construct a platform, or you could say a plateau, that is about 15 feet higher than Essington Road. And that is where the semi-truck, tractors, and trailers are now being parked. We think there are presently somewhere between 1 and 200 trucks or trailers parked on the former quarry property that is both north of 135th Street and south. And a truck and trailer repair operation has been located just south of 135th Street. Although we believe that we would qualify as an abutting residential area as described in Will County ordinances, we received no notification prior to the sale of the property or prior to the start of the truck parking operation. And so we were given no chance to provide input. Our attempt to communicate with the new owner of the property has met with little success. We have contacted the Code Enforcement Department of Bolingbrook, and we were told that you are aware of the matter and are working on it. But from our perspective, the number of trucks and trailers parked across the street continues to grow. The truck parking operation on the south side of 135th Street has sufficient space for the parking of 200 trucks and or trailers. And we believe the property north of 135th Street has been graded and prepared to accommodate another 500 trucks. The company that purchased the quarry property has also now acquired 2 parcels of land on the east side of Essington Road. Those parcels are located in Plainfield. The truck operation is on a path to be a big operation with potential for pollution damage to the air we breathe from diesel truck exhaust, to our lake, to surrounding wetlands, to the Lily Cache Creek and natural watershed located bordering the north side of the quarry property. And the parked trucks are clearly visible to most of our homeowners. We believe the truck operation is inconsistent with the residential neighborhoods, the schools, the therapeutic horse farm, all of which are just west of Essington, not far from the truck operation. And we would love to see the trucking business relocated away from the quarry property. Even if that cannot be done, we believe the new property owners should be required to build a fence that is tall enough and substantial enough to replace the visual and sound screening of the berm that has been removed. We think the trees that were torn out should be replaced, and we believe strongly that adequate pollution prevention measures should be implemented. Thank you for listening to me.
Thank you so much for coming in, we appreciate it, as well as all the residents that have come in from Plainfield. I have numerous remarks that I would like to make, but I'm gonna turn it over to our attorney because my remarks might not be the best. So I'm gonna let the attorney fill you in on exactly where we are and what we're doing, but we do appreciate you coming in, and we certainly, it was not our plan, nor is it currently our plan to not be good neighbors. That is definitely
Thank you.
something that we pride ourselves with all of our neighboring communities, and I apologize on behalf of these new owners.
Just what I can say is that we're in litigation with the owners. I can't say much more than that because we're in litigation with the new owners. We have taken a very active role, as has the village, in trying to enforce what's going on out there, trying to enforce violations of our municipal code, and trying to be good neighbors to our neighbors in Bolingbrook and to our neighbors in Plainfield. So we have adopted a very aggressive position to make sure they comply with our laws and with federal laws, with pollution laws too. So we are in the heat of litigation.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
As I mentioned just before the meeting began, mentioned to you, our homeowners association will, I believe within just a few days, have hired our own attorney to represent us. And one of his first steps that he will take will be to communicate with
One of the lawyers from
legal
my office.
counsels.
Yes. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
So,
Thank you.
well, again, thanks for listening.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to address the board?
Hi, my name is Nancy. I live here in Bolingbrook, and there are quite a few concerns, but I don't know how many topics I can bring up right now. But one of them is the light pollution that is happening here within the city with a lot of the businesses right now. They have so many of those almost stadium lights, security lights. One of the businesses that I can name right now is Dunkin' Donuts. It just projects straight out. And there are laws here in Illinois that say that you can only have your lights filtered a certain degree. I did have the specs on that, but I was in a hurry. I came here last minute, so I'm not really prepared, but I just wanted to address this at this particular time.
Which Dunkin' Donuts are you referring to?
It's the one that's the newer one on Boughton and around Falcon Ridge, Barber's Corner area there. They just put up this light and it just shines right out into where I live is in the clusters area. And you can, I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on here with all the lights, and we keep putting up the lights here on the brighter and brighter LED lights. The subdivision that they put up across the street from us, their lights, they put, I don't understand how you can have some of the lighting, the street lighting, that's literally like 10 feet from the next light. So what is it for? You already have street lights on the corners, etc. There's like no dark skies over there at all. It's just like 24/7, we have 24/7 now light,
Okay.
which also hurts habitats, et cetera, around here. And like this gentleman was speaking up to, I mean, there's a lot that's happening that's destroying our environment, okay? So that is, you know, and we also have neighbors that have the same security lighting throughout our entire subdivision that's on all night, not, you know, turning off, let's say 10 o'clock or whatever, but we already have, street lamps at every single corner without any filters in them, and they're supposed to have filters in them. It's bright. Bright is daylight. You know, some people might say, oh, just go ahead, close your curtains. Well, I'm sorry, I don't like to close my curtains. I like to see the night sky. I like to enjoy, you know, what's around us right now. So that is problematic right now. I don't know if anybody here can agree to some of that. Does anybody, wouldn't you say that? So seriously, this has really gotten out of hand. And the other is the garbage at the parks. Also, there's garbage that just keeps flying over to Ivanhoe. I go every single day to the park and pick up garbage on a daily basis, plastic. I've never seen so much crap in my entire life. Most of it's cleared by the time maybe the Bolingbrook recreation people or whatever come over. But it's me going over there and cleaning up the garbage. And I'm just appalled. And I'm just hoping that people here will come together and actually like, hey, you know, there's garbage here. Let's all try and clean up our messes. But it's all blowing. It's all blowing over there by the golf course. And it's all lined up there. And the people that were, you know, supposedly, I've called you, I know, maybe you've heard me. I'm the one who calls all the time to tell you the garbage is lining up along there. And I can't physically do it all the time.
Sure.
I'm usually walking my dog at the time too. So that is another problem, is the garbage. You know, trying to find solutions that will make people be more respectful. I don't know. Another question I have is, I still need some answers to understand how, as you also have kind of a scenario, same scenario, is over by the Forest Preserve, Green Valley. How did that Ergo trucking company get there? Was that brought up? I don't understand. That was part of the Forest Preserve. So I just want some answers to that. That concerns me. So those trucks are just vroom, in and out, in and out, in and out. We just take for granted the parks and the forest preserves around here. It's so sad. So it's like, okay, we've given you a forest preserve, but now we're gonna dump cell towers, electrical wiring, and now trucking companies. How did it get there? And those are the questions I want to be answered.
Very good.
And that's all I need to say right now. Thank
Right.
you.
Thank you. We do have our co-administrator here with, that oversees Public Works and Public Services. Do you have any comments regarding the lights or the historical, how the truck quarry got on, off of Royce?
Well, to start with the trucks on Royce, that went through a public hearing process and was actually quarry land. The benefit from that was that the quarry did some work on Royce Road, which elevated the road to prevent it from flooding. So at this point, Royce Road no longer needs to be closed, and this is vital, especially for public safety concerns, because when we had to close Royce Road, that would close off our ability to service Heritage Creek subdivision. So we would not necessarily be able to directly respond with fire or public safety to that subdivision without going way out of our way. So not having to close Royce Road on what has become a fairly regular basis was a big advantage. But so the trucking thing, that trucking thing went through the public process. It went to the Plan Commission. The Plan Commission approved it, and then it came to the village board for
I
approval.
don't remember that being a forest preserve, though, did I?
It was not a forest preserve. It was always part of the quarry's land.
Okay.
And the quarry has, over the years, been very generous in taking on projects, and you know, that gravel path along Royce Road was actually just built by the quarry. So they have been, overall, I think the quarry off of Royce Road has been very good stewards with and working with the community. As far as the truck parking goes off of 135th Street, I think we've nailed that, and that we in no way approved, or, you know, we are trying to help with that. The Dunkin' Donuts light, we do have our own lighting code, and, you know, I'm not aware of it. We can turn that over to engineering, and they can investigate that. I can't comment about each little individual streetlight, but we can look into it.
Can I just interject? It's almost as if there was a sales rep that went around all along Fountain and sold that same lighting.
And
Seriously.
we can look into it, but
It's all along, almost every business now.
yes, but
all along Fountain and
there is a
it's
lighting
the
code
same
in the village of Bolingbrook that says you have to have a cutoff light, and engineering can look into that, and if somebody installed a light that was not proper, then, you know, we can work on getting that addressed. Without looking into the street lighting, which we can do, like, I can't really comment on the street lighting in Bluebell Ridge.
Right, the subdivision.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
within
that's
the
the
subdivision.
subdivision. Like,
Correct.
but, you know, I can have engineering go out there and look at it and see what they see and see if they see anything that's unusual. But, you know, I can't from this chair comment, other than we can look into it. And that we do have similar lighting codes in the village that businesses need to adhere to.
I certainly hope so. I mean, I hope that, you know.
And then the only other thing with regards to your HOA and people putting up security lights, that's totally the HOA if they allow it or don't allow it. So you said you're in the clusters, correct?
Correct. And
So-
that's,
And they have a pretty powerful HOA, so maybe that's something that they need to visit or look at to see if they allow
Yeah,
that.
there's some things that have been brought up, and then there's some new members that are in there now, and I thought just in general, that's legality-wise, that I don't care if you're in an HOA or not, that you still cannot have your light shining in people's, you know.
Probably shouldn't to be a good
Windows.
neighbor, but
But I'm talking stadium lighting, it's not, they have their light, the regular front lights, but then they also have, in addition, these stadium lightings that just shine in relation to that, so, yeah.
well, thank you for bringing that to our attention. I know that Co-Administrator Rickelman will have engineering go look at the Dunkin' Donuts and the lights within the new Bluebell Ridge subdivision and see what that is. So thank you for bringing that to our attention, and thank you for coming this evening. We appreciate that. That's how we get things done in the community, right? It's not through social media. I've said this a million times. It's actually through interacting with the trustees and the village board as well as our staff, and we clearly do appreciate that because we can't be everywhere all the time, but we know that the residents are, and feedback is appreciated. Any other public comments this evening? All right, seeing none, let's start with our village clerk with comments.
Thank you, Mayor. Just want to remind everybody that you can now apply for a vote-by-mail application. You can, if you live in Will County, you can go to the Will County Clerk's website and request an application there. If you live in DuPage County, the same thing applies. You can go to the DuPage County Clerk's website and request an application. Once you submit the application, then they will mail out the ballots, the actual ballots, on February 23rd. That's also the date that early voting can begin. So places like the public library or other voting locations will open then on February 23rd for the April 4th consolidated election. New this year is the opportunity to set an application for permanent vote by mail. So right now, or up until now, you had to submit an application to vote by mail for every election. But new this year, you can do a permanent vote by mail, and once you do it one time, then you will always get an application for each election. If you haven't registered to vote, you can also come to our clerk's office. We've got deputy registrars in my office that would be very happy to register you to vote. This is for all of our residents that may not be registered to vote, but you come to the clerk's office, there's certain IDs that you have to bring, so you can go to the county clerk's websites to see what kind of ID you need to bring to do that. But we're open for business, and we'd be happy to get you registered to vote and prepared to vote. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
All right. Wanted to remind folks, and I want to commend the mayor for organizing this. In my time in Bolingbrook, I've never seen something like this put together, but tomorrow night at the community center, which to my right across the pond or coming down Canterbury is Together We Serve. It's an opportunity from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. To come and meet organizations, get information on organizations that serve Bolingbrook. Some are within Bolingbrook's boundaries and are more known to our community, and others are not within our boundaries but still serve the community. So it's a good way to get to know a variety of services. Meals on Wheels, United Way, Catholic Charities are some of the ones that are not necessarily housed in Bolingbrook and are serving. I did get a chance to speak with VFW and American Legion representatives. They provide a number of services to veterans and families who need help navigating the Veterans Administration to get services for them. This is not only veterans, but their families, to get the benefits that they absolutely deserve. So I know representatives of those organizations will be there. So 5 to 8 p.m. tomorrow night. And thank you for coming out and sharing the information. We do listen. As long as I've been on this board, this is a good way to get an update on things and eyes and ears out in the community. So thank you for being here.
Thank you. Just one clarification with regards to Together We Serve. Some have asked, is this something, or is this services strictly for low income? And it is not. We're actually going to have NICOR, ComEd. So it's ways to save money for all residents. Will every single vendor be for every person? No, but there will be something there for everyone. And I believe our police and fire will be there with some information as well with regards to safety, and fire does the car seat checks. So lots of opportunities within our village that I even myself did not know about. And so I know if I don't know about it, the likelihood of many others not knowing about it is high as well. So thank you for mentioning that. Trustee Kelly?
Okay, thank you. Yes, thanks for coming out and bringing your concerns to the board. We appreciate that. There's a couple events coming up on February 11th. The Winter Wonderland Adult Prom by Junior Stars is going to be at the Hilton Garden Inn on Remington Boulevard from 7 to 11. And save the date for the Rotary Macaroni and Cheese Contest, which will be March 11th from 12 to 2. Thank you.
Thanks, Trustee Kelly. I think the mayor is still looking for a prom date, by the way. Of course, thank you for coming out. I do live by 135th in that area, so I drive by it nearly every day, and I've seen that happen. And when Attorney Odelson says that it's being handled with that kind of tone, you can trust that there's a lot of passion behind that. So thank you for coming out. Two things, one of which has been circulating very rapidly on the social media, but the Bolingbrook High School Junior ROTC program is in need of some instructors, actually, to continue to sustain the program. So I think just today, I've had probably 10 residents reach out, just encouraging awareness of those open positions. Please check your social media feeds. I think every resident in town by this point has shared it, but the program is truly at risk. I know the school district is definitely working on options as well as the high school, but it's an important program. We've been a part of many competitions and drill meets. I know I've got to attend a few in the past. It's an important program. So if you know anyone who is looking for some employment that meets the qualifications, please head over to the high school job pin board. There's a whole job description that you can read up on. One other important event, Thursday, February 2nd, the Bolingbrook Chamber of Commerce State of the Village Address featuring keynote speaker Mayor Mary Alexander Basta. That's hosted at the Bolingbrook Golf Club. I think registration opens about 11 a.m. You do need a ticket in advance, so please reserve your ticket through the Bolingbrook Chamber. You can quickly go to bolingbrookchamber.org or give the Chamber office a call and secure your ticket over the phone. Other than that, that's it for this evening.
Awesome, thank you. Just a future save the date for a village event. We have the Bolingbrook Park District Winterfest coming up. That'll be held at the Anarino Community Center. Address is always 201 Recreation Drive. This will be held at 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. If you're looking for any other information regarding this event, you can go to www.bolingbrookparks.org. Thank you.
I'd also like to thank the residents from Plainfield and Bolingbrook for coming in this evening. Certainly want you to leave with the feeling and the understanding that you've been heard and that your quality of life is absolutely important to us. And there's really no bigger job, right, that we have than ensuring that, along with your public safety. So thank you for taking time out to be here. Just want to bring to everyone's attention that there is the Black History Month Awareness Club event taking place on February 4th. It's a Saturday. That will be held at its usual location at Bolingbrook High School, 365 Raider Way. That's going to go from 2 to 5 p.m. The theme is Accelerating the Dream. And we know that's an event that's always rich in entertainment and information sharing, so mark your calendars for that. We had a fun and entertaining ribbon cutting ceremony on last week. Want to make sure everybody's aware of Crafted Burger Bar and Tap. That's located in the Promenade Bolingbrook at 641 East Boughton Road. You can go to their website at craftedburger.com. So important that we support our local businesses. What was the previous name?
2 Pints.
2 Pints. So,
Beer Market was the original.
yep, Beer Market, then 2 Pints, and now Crafted Burger Bar and Tap. So let's support them. They're in an interesting location there in the Promenade, for lack of a better term, meaning, you know, visibility could be a challenge, so it's important that we spread the word. Great atmosphere, great food, and so we want them to be successful, and I thought I'd just mention that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. I also would like to thank, I'm sorry, I have trouble, I'm having trouble hearing, my ear is kind of messed up right now, but I didn't get your name? The woman who picked up the trash? Yes, from Bolingbrook? Nancy? I just want to thank you so much for going out of your way to pick up that garbage on behalf of all of the trustees and the mayor. You know what? That's unbelievable. It's very kind of you to do something like that, and, you know, we hope, you know, trash is flying all over the place. The wind is blowing, and no excuse, but I just want to say thank you so much for doing that, because that shows you care. There's a lot of residents, and they care and do things like that are, you know, you have to come and tell us, you know, that means a lot. And on behalf of all of us, I have to say thank you once again. Thank you so much, you know, because you could hurt yourself, you could fall, you know, a lot of things could happen, so thank you. Okay, so I have something. Tuesday, February 14th, Bolingbrook Nonprofit Coalition hosting Be Mine, a Valentine's Day dinner to share with anyone who you love. Held at the Bolingbrook Golf Club at 201 Rodeo Drive. Reservations were required beginning at 6 p.m. The fee is $75 for adults, $25 for children, and many additional add-ons for your special day. To make your reservation, go to myevent.com/BeMine2023. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Co-administrators, do you have anything for us this evening? No? Very good. We have no executive session this evening. This concludes the business before the board. I will now entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Trustee Carpenzano, second trustee Watts. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We stand adjourned. Thank you so much and have a great evening.